Another good topic that you and I spoke about last week. Bit of an uncomfortable one again. Talking about my episode when I was on performance enhancers. Again, I didn't really know what worked. I was on a number of substances, It's all well documented, so it's not something I need to relay. However, when I was on it, I tell you what, I felt like a machine. For all I know, like I said, I could have been drinking water and taking Pro Plus, I don't know. But it made me feel amazing. Now, even if it was something as simple as just taking Pro Plus and just drinking water, in my mind, what I was taking was making me better. Now, post-performance enhancers, when I got suspended and I came away from everything, I almost felt like Skeletor when he goes back into his tomb in the cartoon He-Man. For you youngsters, you won't know who Skeletor is. But when, is it Skeletor or is it Mum-Ra? Is it Mum-Ra? That's Thundercats. All right, so it's Mum-Ra. It's Mum-Ra. For those of you that know, go back and watch Thundercats. Now, when Mum-Ra is in his little tomb, he's all frail and decrepit, like nothing to him. But when Mum-Ra gets his juice and he pumps up, my man swell up real quick. Ancient spirits of evil. Yeah, I even know the saying. But so when I came off of everything, I felt frail and decrepit. I thought, oh man, I'm not the same. But I was the same person. I was just relying on something else that was fueling me. And I forgot to fuel myself up here. And I think what we spoke about last week was, what did we say? That I found when I was on, I was able to recover very, very quickly. When I ran 9.87 seconds, this was during the time in 2003 when I was on performance enhancers, I found that for about 10 days, 2 weeks, I was completely shot. My system just went, just zapped me. So I think in technical terms, they will refer that to your CNS, your central nervous system. When you've taken it from its full capacity and you completely drain it, then you feel that feeling of just not having any energy in your body. So that's probably what happened to me. Now I found when I came off performance enhancers and I just went back to running normally, it took me a lot longer to recover. Now we're talking, when I ran 6.42 on no performance enhancers, no nothing, that's pure grit and tears and sweat. It took me 3 months to recover. That was 2009. I ran 6.42 indoors in March. April, May, June, July-ish is when I kind of recovered. I never ever fully recovered until I got to the World Championships in Berlin, where Bolt went and broke the world record, 9.58. I was in lane 1 and I ran 10 flat. I never really fully recovered until then, and we're talking almost 6 months, that's almost half a year. But I'd taken myself to a level that was way beyond what I'd done before. And the recovery process took me that long, it was hard. So in my mind I was like, how can I feel the same using nothing? And I think we spoke about it, Dee, that we were saying that if we can challenge the mind to it, then it's all possible. So now I've got to look at ways how I've got a lot more on board now. We've got 3 kids, my wife and I. We're juggling work. We're both up and down like blue house flies. We've got to juggle all of these things. But yet I know my dream. I still have that dream to run. I know I can still run fast. I know I can still perform at the top level. But how am I going to do all of this with all these balls that I'm juggling? Juggling 6 or 7 balls. I've got the academy, I've got one-to-ones. My life ain't no different from anybody else that works day to day. My life's no different than anybody else. I still got to take out the rubbish, still got to wash the dishes, bath the kids every now and again. Wife does the ironing, take out the normal stuff. We still got to do that. There's no difference. Just because we're sportsmen and women, we still have to go home and do all that. There's no difference. So how can I reprogram this to still create the stimulus to them to be able to recover? So there's a number of things I know I have to do better. I have to try and get a little bit more sleep. I have to eat a bit better. I have to keep myself hydrated. I've got to watch how much energy I put out when I'm on the track. Not just on my own training, but when I'm coaching other people. Because more than anything else, when you're coaching other people, that's a drain on yourself. So you do have to forget whatever you've put in knowledge-wise, you've got to be able to give back. And when you give away, that's energy being drawn from you. Now, if I'm drawing all this, giving all this energy away to another athlete, they're soaking it up, but it leaves me dry and decrepit. But yet, I've still got to find the energy to absorb more moisture, go out there and perform. Now, how do you do that? It's not easy. Knowing that I've still got all this mechanical energy in me that wants to go out and perform, but I've got to manage how this is gonna all span out, and it's difficult. But I think where the mind comes in to play, you have to program this in such a way that it enables you to get your sessions done, give a little bit to everybody else, give a bit to your kids, give a bit to your wife or your husband, and still come back and still have time for you. It's not an easy task. And again, there's many books out there, but every book that's written is based on an individual's experience, and you've got to apply that to you and go out and then deliver it. Now, so that's where I'm kind of battling. How am I going to juggle all of this stuff? And wanting to create the same feeling that I had when I was on. But can I do that, not using any performance enhancers? The answer is not at this stage. But if I can capture this right and program it right, I'll get the performances that I feel that I can get. So this is where I'm at right now with what I'm doing. And the more I talk to people, the more I find out what things I can apply, what I should remove, how many days I should train, how much I should take off, what are the right foods to eat. This is where I'm at. I'm afraid to take supplements for a particular reason. I'm afraid of getting caught again. I know there's no reason why I shouldn't take supplements, but I'm afraid of that. And this is not a dig at any supplement company. I'm just afraid. Because as far as I'm concerned, if for any reason I come across a supplement and it's cross-contaminated, that is it. I might as well just put myself under a noose and jump off a bridge. So I'm very, very worried about that for obvious reasons. So I choose to just eat right. We home cook every day for the kids anyway, so that's something I know I've just got to be very, very strict on myself about. Don't get me wrong, Fridays are our fish and chips day. I've got to have that in me. I can't help it, man. I'm fish and chips to the end, boy. I'm fish and chips to the end. And we have our West Indian food every now and again, but more than anything, we just cook right. And I found over the years, because we home cook and we get solid food in us all the time, we're very resourceful. We bounce back quickly from illnesses. We don't really get ill. A couple of my kids' friends, like I watch them. So the kids moan at us like, we're always eating this, we're always eating that. But I said, you know what? When you get a little cold, a couple of days later, you're back to normal. When you don't eat right, you don't sleep right, you don't drink properly, these colds are lingering for 2-3 weeks. And that's about the nutrition, the substances you put in, the ingredients you put in is what's going to sustain you and give a base. So when you get sick and ill, you can bounce that off quickly. So my kids' friends, when they're ill, they're in bed for 2 weeks. I'm like, nah, there's nothing wrong with you. Got some little cowpole, go to school, man. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell, man. That's me, D.